Laila Ezzat.
Hi.
Hi.
Okay, I'm going to try to give as little detail as possible.
No,
But
you need to give all the details.
I have a stalker story. And then one day my dad called me. He's like, he's at my office right now waiting for me.
What? How much money did you make from your first ever brand deal?
Like,
That is insane. Hi guys, this is Aly Khalifa from Forbes Middle East, and today we're having a little sit down with one of Egypt's leading beauty and lifestyle influencers, Laila Ezzat. Everybody say hi to Laila.
hi.
Hi, how are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm fantastic. You look good today.
Thank you. You look great.
You really came through. You said beauty, fashion,
tried.
influence, and we've been influenced.
I really
We're-
tried. Thank
So listen, Laila, I'm not going to lie to you. We are going to speak about everything you do today.
you. Mm-hmm.
And so for those who don't know, Laila is a beauty, lifestyle influencer, content creator. I don't know what you like, which term to
Both are fine.
And she's also a model. So she's basically a person that makes a lot of money from different areas. And so we will be speaking about that today. All right. So right off the bat, can you give the audience a little bit of an inside look into who Laila Ezzat is? What's kind of your personal brand? What do you do for content? How did you start? Or actually, let's just start with who Laila Ezzat really is to the core.
Hassel, it's constantly kind of changing.
Yeah.
Like, it's constantly evolving. I'm all for growth, learning new things, experiencing new things. And I feel like that is constantly changing who I am. But at the core, I would say I'm someone who likes to make others happy. I like to make people laugh. Or I like to be just a positive person to be around and a comfortable person to be around.
I feel like you've really succeeded in doing that. And not even that, like, even if your content isn't directly to influence positivity or spread that, I feel like just your aura is kind of really light to watch. Like, even when you're just sitting in the kitchen and like making a little soup or whatever, I'm like, she's really just a girl. Like, she's
Just the girls.
just making soup in the kitchen, bro. Like, it's like nice and light to watch. So I like what you bring to my feed and to other people's feeds.
Thank you.
There's a reason why you're here. So obviously, you started off as one of Egypt's like leading models in a sense, or you and like another girl, I forget her name, but you and another girl were really like the top two models at some point. And like once, especially when Instagram still first came about in Egypt, you really took it by storm. I remember seeing you every day. Every day I would open Instagram. It's like
So
you
sorry.
doing this, baby, no, don't apologize. You're doing this brand deal, like a shoot for a brand. I'm like, who's this girl that looks like a tiger? Like, what is going on? And everybody was comparing you to the Hadids in a sense. I'm sure you got that a lot.
I did. I'm so happy.
So how did you make the transition from being like a model
Mm-hmm.
into like a full-time kind of content creator?
Mm-hmm. Okay. It's kind of an interesting story because I feel like everything kind of happened by coincidence, but also very on purpose. Like, I feel like I've always wanted to get into the creative industry. I've always wanted to do something that was not very traditional. I was never really into that. But I never actively sought it out or pursued it in that way. But it was always like in the back of my head that I wanted to do this. But it kind of came by chance because the first time I was offered to model, I was in high school. It was my senior year, and I got a DM that was like, do you want to model for this like jewelry brand that's local? مش عارفة إيه. And I was like, yeah, I do. I really, like, I was super shy, but I kind of took the risk. And this is like a very common theme in like everything I do, where I'm like very shy, but I like to jump in the deep end of like everything I do. And I kind of have to like commit myself to something. So I force myself out of my comfort zone kind of. So I did that, and I did the shoot, and I skipped school that day. I didn't tell my parents. It was a very interesting day, but it was so fun, and I loved it. And then from there, I got more and more modeling shoots, and then I made my account public, and I got more opportunities through there. But for like the first 4 years, I never spoke on camera because I was so shy. So I never really like showed my voice. It was just pictures. So it was like an account. It was like a bot. It was like an account with pictures and no voice, no personality, no nothing. Although I wanted to, but I was super shy to like take that step of like making videos and speaking and like showing who I am online.
And I feel like it's also because you got known as a person who's like, for your like, for you. And with models especially, I feel like everybody likes to keep kind of like a mysterious, low profile kind of situation. I'm sure that made it kind of harder for you to come to the camera and speak. Is content your full-time job?
Yes.
Lovely. So how did you decide? Like, what was the point where you were like, okay, now I need to actually open up the camera and speak because I'm going to make this my thing?
Again, that also kind of fell into like existence as a coincidence because I had always been interested in making videos when I was in grade 6. It was like the time of the revolution. It was back in the time of the revolution. So everyone was at home. There was not much to do. I was like 11 years old and I started making YouTube videos with my friend as like a funny thing. It was like a news show, but no real actual news on it. And we'd make our own ads and everything. And I taught myself how to edit back then. So I kind of fell in love with the concept of like creating videos and editing and making like an idea come to life through just your mind, and like something that never existed just exists suddenly because you made it happen. So I really fell in love with that because I grew up watching YouTube and like just grew up on the internet as opposed to like watching TV like older generations. So that was always like a thing that I thought was really cool and always wanted to do. But then as I grew, I became more anxious and I started really caring and like having social anxiety, and it really scared me to do that when I started my public account. So I was very comfortable with posting pictures. And then I always wanted to do videos again, but like I told you, I was scared of like judgment and I wasn't confident enough, and I was like, that's gonna look silly and stuff. But then a brand actually emailed me and they were like, we wanna do a video, we want you to promote this product and stuff like that. And I was like, this is another opportunity to throw myself in the deep end of the pool. And like, if I commit, then I can't back out. And if I sign a contract, then I can't back out.
Okay, so you agreed to the brand deal, and
I
you're
agreed
like,
to the brand.
and that's kind of what pushed you into making the first video.
Exactly.
So you're like, they're gonna pay me. I need to make this.
Exactly.
Video.
So it's like anxiety. Who?
What? She's not paying for my bills, so she can sit on the backpack for now. So that's cute. What was the first video about?
It was a hair thing.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we're not. No free ads. When did it become? So obviously you finished uni. What did you study for uni?
Mass comm. So mass communication, media.
And so you started your content creation journey while you were in university.
Yes.
And so when did you decide that it was just going to be your full-time job and you weren't going to pursue what you studied?
I feel like what I studied kind of isn't too far off, but I didn't want to use what I studied in a very traditional sense. I think it was always risky and it was always very scary, but I felt like when it started kind of doing well, and obviously as a freelancer, nothing is ever too stable, but when I felt like, okay, this is somewhat stable to a certain extent, I was like, I want to do this as long as I possibly can because I enjoy it so much. And if one day it doesn't go as planned or it doesn't do as well, then I'll obviously have to change what I do. But for now, I love it.
And how old are you?
How old do I look?
It's 24?
25.
Okay, but okay, so you have time. Even if it starts to fumble or whatever, you can then pivot really easily. I feel like people usually don't really think it through that way. Like everybody's like, oh, I need to have a job right now. I need to have a stable source of income right now. But honestly, like if I'm not going to have a stable source of income at any point in my life, it better be now. Exactly. If I'm 30 and I don't have a stable source of income, maybe I need to travel. I need to do stuff. Now I kind of have the luxury to like play around a little bit.
Yeah.
And so I like the fact that you've kind of lent into it because it's obviously doing well for you. Do you think in general it could be a full-time job for anybody?
I think it can, because I obviously know people who do it full-time, but I feel like it takes a certain level of commitment and a certain level of passion. Like talent isn't always enough. I feel like you need to actually like what you do and care about it. And yeah, I think it's possible. Yeah.
Since we were just talking about obstacles with content, what do you think is the biggest obstacle for you personally? For me, I think it's like cringe. Like, how do you not cringe yourself out? Not to say that you're cringy. I'm just saying that in general, the concept of sitting in front of a camera and speaking to it is generally cringe.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's what stops a lot of creators from blowing up or like continuing. I know it stops me for sure. I can be posting 5-6 days in a row and then I'm like, I'm way too cringe. Like, even though maybe nobody thinks that, but in my brain, it's like, I need to get over cringe mountain.
I feel like as a shy person, it's first of all being perceived by so many people that I don't know. And second of all, I feel like it's that you're not always in the mood to be on camera. Like you said, sometimes you feel like you're being too cringe. Sometimes you feel like you look silly or whatever it may be. But I kind of came to the conclusion that I feel like something is only cringe if you feel like it's not genuine, or if it feels fake and you feel like you're not being true to yourself, then that's when it feels like it's cringe. But as long as you're being yourself, then embrace the cringe, I think.
Yeah. Get over cringe mountain, people.
Get over cringe.
There's a Maldives brand deal waiting for you on the other side that you don't want to miss out on.
Exactly.
And Haytham and whoever from school is calling you cringe, he's not going to pay for that steak.
Exactly. Haytham is not paying your bills.
Haytham's bills have been affected. Haytham's dad still pays his bills and he will continue to pay his bills until his death. So don't let Haytham stop you, Mayor. Get that bag. So what would you say was your takeoff point? When were you like, what was the video that you made and you were like, oh, wait. I might have something right over here.
I don't know. I don't know if there was like a moment. Like,
there wasn't like
I'm trying to think. I can't relate to one specific video, but I feel like once I started making videos in general, and especially during quarantine, when I downloaded TikTok and I started making videos on TikTok, that kind of blew up. So I think just showing my personality on the app and just showing up as myself and showing that side of me that people didn't really know about is what kind of blew my account up, but I can't relate it to one specific video.
All right. So you think TikTok was like a catalyst in your
For
growth
sure.
as a creator? For sure.
And my dad. Any video my dad is in.
Oh, that's always a really good sell. I will watch any video with anybody's dad, especially if it's a girl.
Yeah.
If a girl has her dad, I don't know if you've seen Donut Mem's videos.
I love her.
Puppy's videos.
Yes.
Obsessed. Anything this man does, I will watch until the end.
He's so cute.
So obviously your whole business model is that you work with brands because TikTok and platforms don't really pay in Egypt and stuff, which is
nothing.
We need to talk about that. But that's a conversation for later. But like, so your whole business model as a full-time content creator is that you work with brands and obviously they pay you, et cetera, which we will get into in a bit. But for now, so what industry would you like to go into more when it comes to the brands that you work with?
I think fashion. I've done a lot of beauty, a lot of hair. I'd like to get more into fashion, but I love it all, honestly.
So speaking of fashion, we've seen you've done this collaboration with Nisset, who I personally love, by the way. Very, very nice brand.
Amazing.
Yeah, like their mission statement, everything. I love Farah. Farah's an icon.
Farah and Amal.
Iconic. And I just saw Amal speak about their partnership on TikTok, and I was like, yeah, that sounds like a cute little partnership.
Yes.
But so obviously we see the final product. We see the really, really nice pieces that you guys have created together. I kind of want to delve into the behind the scenes of it all.
Okay.
So what goes behind creating a brand collab?
It takes a lot longer than you would think. Like, we started talking about it like 6 months before we actually launched. I can't speak for all brands. I'm sure every process is different, but honestly, the process, like with working with Nisset, was so nice because they're such a positive team. They're really passionate about what they do. They care about quality. I feel like we have similar values in that sense. So that was never an issue. It was just more picking a theme. Like how it started was that we basically chose the theme. We wanted something that represented both of us in a fair and equal way and something that we could both be proud of producing. So we started by deciding what kind of theme we wanted to go with, and then we kind of broke it down step by step, every look we were gonna do, to every outfit, to every item, to every color, fabrics, textures. We went on a lot of errands together, and it was very collaborative and it was very nice and positive overall. I loved the process, honestly.
It was really cute. Would you do it again? Would you do a collab again?
Please, say
with this
call me with anyone. What they say is
please, anybody call
anyone
me.
Call me. Yeah.
Just give me free clothes, bro. I just want to make clothes so I can wear them myself. And what about the financial part of the collab? How does that work? Does the brand get 50% or is it like a different deal based on?
It's a fair deal. Let's just say that.
I think we're being democratic.
Yes,
and this
always.
is not going to work.
DC.
Not going to work in 2 questions from now. But anyways, cool. I'll let it slide this one time. Okay, do you have a funny or an unusual kind of story that happened to you before with a brand while working? Because some people have like horror stories. Some people are like, oh.
I have a stalker story.
Oh, that's even more iconic. That's what we want. Yeah,
I have a stalker story.
Immediately now.
Okay, I'm going to try to give as little detail as possible because he's still alive and I'm scared.
But no, you need to give all the details.
Off camera.
Okay,
long story short, because it's a very long story. He kind of worked in a magazine. He wanted to work with me. I was like, okay, sure. And then he started calling like 8 times a day. And I was like, this is unprofessional. He'd call me when I was like in class or whatever. And then I I started like telling him, look, we can't work together because he was calling excessively, like a creepy amount of times. And he started sending me like love text messages and sending me like edits of pictures of me and pictures I don't know how he found, first of all. And then one day my dad called me and he's like, let's call him Bob. Okay,
That's
he was,
weird.
I know. He was like, what was your stalker's name again, Bob? So I was like, yeah, why? He's like, he's at my office right now waiting for me.
What?
So he showed up and proposed to my dad, and he lives far away. I don't know how he found my dad's work address. I don't know. I don't know.
Saucy, spicy little
See,
story. Do you have another one on the street method?
I wouldn't say it's a horror story, but I've had people take pictures of me when I'm not looking, but nothing too extreme. Nothing
That's
crazy.
so, like, it feels so weird,
Yeah.
right? Because, like, it's like, what are you doing? Like,
Yeah.
why, first of all, why are you taking a picture of me?
Mhm.
Secondly, what did you gain from when you took a picture?
It's like, I see you. That's okay.
You know when people try to take pictures and, like, make it seem like they're not, it's
Exactly.
like they put their phone on their chest. Who's put their phone on their chest?
Exactly.
Have you lost your mind? You think you're being slick, huh, Bob? I
Exactly.
see you. I see you, Bob.
Bob.
You sending it to Bob. Okay, so remember what I told you that you were going to get away with it 2 questions ago, but you're not going to get away with it anymore?
Mm-hmm.
This is what I'm speaking about.
Okay.
This is the section I'm speaking about. So here's a bunch of spicy questions that you need to answer even if you don't feel like you're comfortable answering them.
Okay.
How much money did you make from your first ever brand deal?
It was surprisingly a very good and fair amount, I would say, because like I told you, I was super shy. So I shot for the stars and I was like, if they don't like approve, then it's great because I'm shy either way. I don't want to really do this. Like I do, but I don't. So like, are we talking numbers? Or
Yeah, numbers. Exactly. That's all we're talking.
like 40?
That's really good.
I know.
Wow.
I know.
40K EGP.
Yeah.
So that's like $1,000.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. At the
ish.
time more, but now, yeah.
Yeah.
Now less,
Damn.
actually. But yeah.
That is insane. Come on. Put it there, Laila. You ate that. Because usually, like, when I ask people this question, people are like, oh, like, I got a meal.
I mean, my first modeling like shoot, it was like basically nothing. But brand deal, I was like, I'm gonna take it seriously. I'm gonna shoot for the stars because I'm really putting myself out there. So I might as well like go big.
Oh, and you went big.
I went
40K
big.
is a lot.
Yeah, I
Some
was shook. I was like, they said yes. Okay, thanks.
Which means that you could have also asked for more.
I know.
I always do. I hate it when that happens.
When it's approved too fast, it's like
Should have asked for 80.
exactly.
So annoying. But then again, were they nice to deal with, like the people?
They were nice. They were nice. Yeah.
Because usually there's this thing where it's like, oh, the person that gives you exactly how much you want is like easy to work with.
Mm.
And then the person who like tries to haggle is like
The
really
worst.
annoying. And they're like,
Yeah,
what are you giving me for your money? Well, you came to me. I wasn't asking. Sit down,
exactly.
looking pretty. Now you want me to speak on the camera. So you're going to pay.
Exactly. Exactly.
Okay, now we're going to get into how much you got paid for your highest paid deal.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously, I understand that it could be a little iffy, although I hate that. And I would love you to say exactly how much money you made. But we'll talk about that off camera. It could be a little iffy for you to say the amount of money. So we're going to speak in terms of how many cups of coffee you could have bought for your most expensive
I don't.
highest paid brand deal.
Okay. I don't drink coffee, so I can give you cups of matcha. I think around 2,500 cups of matcha.
See, now that sounds like a lot of matcha,
Yeah.
but it's like,
With oat milk.
oh, so you got you have the even more expensive one. But it's like 2,500. That's also not a lot of a drink.
Right?
Because how many like are you getting per year? You're getting one a day.
I make it at home now.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
we love an economic queen. Would you say you're actually good with money in general?
I wasn't when I first started off. For the first like 3 years, I didn't save a penny I made. I used to take the money, spend it. It never made it home. Like I was spending left and right on like very silly things, or I was just constantly eating out. I wasn't really investing. Or then again, I was like 17, 18, so I wasn't really thinking of it like that. But in the past few years, I think I'm good at saving and like,
Yeah.
diversifying where my money
So
is.
what was the biggest girl purchase that you made?
I don't think there's like a big girl purchase. I think where I spend my money is travel. So that's always my priority. Like some people like bags or shoes or food or whatever, I think my priority is always travel. So plane tickets, many plane tickets.
Yeah,
Yeah.
many
plane tickets.
I would have been food. I spend enormous, mind-boggling amounts of money on food.
Yeah, that's my second thing.
Yeah, right?
Travel then food.
You want to tell us something people don't really know about you?
There's two things. Okay, there's two things. People are surprised when they meet me from how tall I am, because I'm taller in real life than I appear in pictures. And the second thing is, I think people that follow me would be surprised to know that people in my life at least think I'm funny, because I don't always show that side. But yeah, I like to make people laugh.
Okay, that's cute. That's cute. That would mark the end of our episode. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
Thank you guys for watching, and stay tuned for the next episodes where we meddle in everybody and your favorite content creators' business. Have a great day.